So this is a Tikka T3 in a 308. Had it about 4 years now. Never really had a problem with its accuracy. Always done an inch group at 100 metres. But recently, the last 2 times I've pulled the trigger, I've clean missed. So I thought it was time to give it a good clean and maybe sight it in again. I've been using 150 SSTs, which were a hand load, and like I say, been a beautifully accurate bullet for 5 years, 6 years. But yeah, can't keep missing and don't have the time to make another batch of them. Decided to try and sight it in. These are a 165 factory Remington. A little bit heavier, because the 150 was just struggling to pull the sambar up at longer range. So I've gone for something a bit heavier. Gonna give it a quick clean now, bit of powder solvent through and quick oil up and push it all out. Head up the bush and see if I can get it grouping a bit better, see if I can sort out what the problem is with it. So that's the powder solvent. It's actually come out really quite clean. Just the 3 patches there to get it nearly coming out white. I left that sitting there for 15-20 minutes. I do look after this gun quite a lot, clean it every time I use it, so that's probably not that surprising. Anyway, that's the arduous bit of the exercise done. I'll head up bush and see if we can get a good group. So just up on the edge of a track, it's about as far as I can get, flat down there, target. That's 85 metres, not the 100 I normally do, but should give me pretty close indication. I'll just go maybe 1/4 inch high when I finish sighting it in. I usually set up on sandbags. Back of the ute's not ideal because it will rock a little bit, but it's the best I can do with the time I've got. So yeah, I'll rip a few through. The gun's nice and clean now. I usually find with this particular rifle, the first shot doesn't really group so well. So I'll put 2 through, let the gun cool out, and then I'll put another 2 through, go down, mark them, make an adjustment, another 1 or 2, and hopefully we're bang on, and I can be confident when I go up the bush this afternoon that when I point it at a deer, it'll fall over. Yeah, we'll rip a few through now and I'll show you how I go. So I put 3 shots through off the sandbags, aiming there obviously. That's not too bad really, those 3. So I'm going to mark it. I'll go off the middle one, so I'll bring it 2 over, or 4 clicks over, and maybe a click down. I'll run another 2 through it and see where we're at. But I thought the gun was spraying it. It might have just been the old ammunition, because last time the group was sort of a foot. That's still nowhere near as good as it was. It's had a pretty hard life. Hound hunting, crashing through the bush does that. But I'm actually fairly happy with those bullets doing that now. A lot of that could be me. Don't shoot anywhere near as much as I'd like to. So yeah, I'll give it a couple more and see. I've got a mate that mucks around with a bit of gunsmithing, so I might even give him the rifle and see if he can work it out. But for the hunting trip and what I'm doing, that's well in the kill area of most deer that you'll hunt. Whether you probably wouldn't shoot at the head if it was doing that, but neck and chest shots, that's easy. 85 metres. You know, that's pretty good. It'll drop a little bit over 100, so I'll mark them up. Let the rifle cool out, put another couple through it, and see how we go. So back at the rifle now while it's cooling down. Barrel's fairly cool, but I can still feel a little bit of warmth. As you normally shoot on a cool barrel, it's best to have it as cool as possible when you're sighting in. I've found that it usually lifts and heads left as the barrel heats up, which is just what I've found. Different rifles would be different, I'm assuming. So down there I found I needed to go 1 inch. to the left and 1/2 inch down. So top one controls your up and down, U for up, no D, but we know when we're going the opposite, and 1 click is a 1/4 there. So what I do is go 2. So we'll go 2, 3, and then we'll go back 2. So that's just how I was always taught to do it. Go a little bit over where you go and then back. So to the left we need to come 1 inch. We've got an R, we need to go left. Same deal, 1/4, I want to go 1 inch. So that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're just going back the 1. Land on 1 inch. And then just give it a bit of a hit on the stock. Sort of everything beds in a bit nicer there. I'll cover those up because I think that's going to be spot on. Only putting the 2 shots through it, but that will be hopefully bang on where it is. Like I say, this rifle used to do a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch group at 100 metres. I was doing a lot more hunting back then, so that might have something to do with it. Again, it's getting a bit of age. There's been a couple of 100 shots through it. Might be a little bit of wear on the barrel. I've looked after it fairly well, but like I say, they do have a hard life hand hunting, charging through the scrub. So it's to be expected. It's not like a brand new rifle anymore. I'll get these couple of shots through it because the mozzies are starting to get real friendly, and yeah, show you how I go with that. Right, just down checking on those last 2 shots. So there, obviously I'm aiming pretty well there. We're pretty well spot on there. First 3, with me firing more shots, I don't know, they seem to be getting a little bit closer together. I think what I'll do is I'll just go 1 click back and 1 click up. I shouldn't have probably adjusted that up and down. Yeah, just because a lot of the shots I do take over 100 metres, it'll start dropping a bit. But yeah, actually, the more I think about it, I might just leave that as it is, and I just know that at 100 it might be a little bit low. Most of the shots, as you can see, the Australian bush is, pretty thick. This is actually reasonably clear compared to a lot of it. So, I mean, how many shots am I going to get off that are over 100 metres in this sort of terrain that you're hunting? Most of them are going to be, 50. I do a bit of fringe hunting though, so that's why I generally like 100. But that's coming with me. So I'm happy enough with that. Go and get ready for this evening's hunt, and yeah, hopefully I can get a deer on the deck. And yeah, thanks for watching. If I do have a successful hunt, there'll be another video from today up. But yeah, that was a pretty good outcome really. I was quite concerned that rifle was spraying the bullets everywhere, and there was a big problem with it. But as it turns out, just maybe an ammunition issue. The Remington AccuBonds seem to be a reasonable round out of this rifle, and the 165s, I'll stick with them for a while. I was finding the 150s was just a little bit light on the sambar, so these will be good for that. Thanks for watching.